and I will give you the green light once we are live.
All right. What a great message today, McGuire. Great huddle as always. I really like that quote. You know, I think they always say that, people underestimate how much they can get, or they overestimate how much they can get done in a year, and they underestimate how much they can get done in a couple years. I think that same, analogy kind of lines up with your message today of even just small interactions can, have a huge ripple effect. So that's awesome.
Absolutely appreciate you, brother. We are live, so we're good to go.
All right. Well, hello everybody. I'm Tyler. I work here at DAC Corporate. I handle a lot of the IT stuff here. So I'm going to be going over our agent updates and reminders. So we'll keep this short and quick, but we'll kick it off with reminding everybody that Monday is Memorial Day, and our offices will be closed in remembrance of those who served in our military and who have laid down their lives for our freedom. Applications can still be submitted, support tickets can still be submitted, but just know that they won't be answered until Tuesday morning. Of course, we've always got our 24/7 chatbot, AI chatbot you can use. It can answer, most, if not all questions, but of course, if you need more clarification, you've always got support. Some new updates. The MGA and SGA, your MGA and SGA are now listed in your back office. If you go to My Team, you can see My Team and then My Enroller right in your back office. That'll show you who your up team MGA and up team SGA are, as well as now every time someone joins in your team, your SGA and your MGA will now be notified. So for those of you who are an MGA and an SGA, you guys are now going to be getting email notifications letting you know that someone's in your team, so you can reach out. I see Harlequin's putting her hand up right there. That's awesome. So that's something new and improved that's going out. We also have a new page on our LMS. If you go to DAC training/Zoom, there was a few people who were having issues with using the link daczoom.com to join our huddles and our Zoom calls. We now have a page on the LMS DAC training slash Zoom that has a button right there you can click to dial in or join straight to the meeting, and that won't get blocked. We also, it's becoming that time where people are starting to need to renew their certification. We put together a document that'll be posted to the agent resources today on the LMS, as well as we'll probably get it posted up in Facebook. Just outlines the steps of going through and recertifying what that looks like and how to do that. But those are really the updates I've got for you guys. So I'm going to pass it over to David to give a little message to everybody.
Amen. Appreciate it, buddy. Good job,
Mhm.
Tyler. Appreciate you all being here. And we've got, hey, great things happening. We were talking to Wade and Brad this morning. There's a team of 6 now taking care of clients on the Bank Breezy side. Plus, in addition to that, Tyler and McGuire do a lot of reach out to some old data as well. So we really have 8 people reaching out to all of our clients on your behalf. And that can grow as we need to grow. And so as we scale more clients in, we have more people we can bring on. So we don't have any concern about scale. System improvement, as McGuire talked about, Tyler talked about. We've got we're always tweaking. Every week there's minuscule improvements, and all of those make your business more of a business, not just a sales rep, not just a self-employed. You've got all of us working for you, supporting you. Now there's a cost for that, right? You don't get 100% of the commission, you get 40 to 80. So there is a cost. But what that allows is it allows you to scale your business, and me too. Um, you know, I had a client this week. They did a $250,000 funding. When I first started the company, when it was just me, I would have taken that direct to a carrier, the same carrier who funded them. In fact, it was On Deck Lending. I would have gotten a full commission. I wouldn't have gotten 80% of the bonus revenue. I would have got 100% of what was available, but I would have had to do it all myself. And I would have had to collect all the applications, have all the discussions, go back and forth with that client the same way. I would have had to apply at all those other lenders to make sure it's the best offer. I would have then had to go back and forth with the underwriters from all of them because they all had different questions before they could give an answer. And I would have spent 7 or 8 hours on that client before I presented the offer so that I could give the best offer to my client. Or I wouldn't have known about half the lenders and I would have given them less of a good offer, but I would have earned more, right? I would have earned more on that deal. But would I really have earned more? Because instead I was able to take all that time that I didn't have to do that because we got a team working for us. You all have a team working for you, the Bank Breezy funding team, the DAC support team. They're all working for you. All the lenders, underwriters, they're all working for you. So yeah, you don't get the full, you get 40 to 80%. Number one. But number two, I earned last week more off my broker agency than I did on personal commissions. And I had $250,000 funding and other fundings and renewals. Well, not renewals last week, but I earned more. So how am I earning more than 100% of what I could have earned? Because our comp plan allows you to build an agency. Do you want to get 100% of the revenue and go direct to a carrier? You can. You'll do all the work. You won't be able to scale. You won't be able to support hundreds of brokers in your team that we support for you, right? You won't be able to take all those applications coming in, and you won't be able to make more than 100% on your funding. What do I mean by that? If I took 100% of that $250,000 funding, let's just say it was 7% of that $250,000, it would have been 17,500 I would have made. Right? Now I get 80% of that 7,000. So it's whatever that is. 80% of 7%, I'm sorry. So 5.6% I'll get on that $250,000. So that's 13,000 I'll earn. But I earn overrides on all the other clients that I wouldn't have if I were direct to a lender myself. If I did it all myself, I couldn't have 50 brokers, 100 brokers, 200 brokers, 1,000, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000 brokers that I override, right? So you can actually earn more than 100% of your own personal commissions because you're getting overrides on a team. So you may not get it on your personal deal, but you get it on all the other deals. So what I say to you is the systems that McGuire works so hard on, that the support team works so hard on, that Tyler works so hard on. He's redoing the LMS right now behind the scenes, quietly, but until I said that, quietly improving it so it's even more effective for all of you down the road. Just easier sign in, different things that you wouldn't even notice need to be done. He's just wanting to solve for some things that he's regularly answering, right? Behind the scenes, it may be 6 months before it's done because it's not urgent. The LMS is amazing as it is, but we're always fine-tuning things to improve them, to make your system even better for you to scale like a franchise. You get to scale like Chick-fil-A. You get to scale like McDonald's. You get without having to bear all that burden. You have to be the encourager, the coach, or the trainer. And so kudos to all the Bank Breezy team who's supporting the 6 of them right now, who takes care of our clients every day. Thank God for all 6 of those people who work for you. You don't have to pay them a salary. They work for you. Our fixed costs keep growing to support your complementary business, right? And yeah, well, I don't get 100%. You get more than 100%. You may not get 100% of your personal funding, but I'd much rather give up 20% on my personal funding because I'm at the 80% level now and make 20% overrides on every other funding in the team and have the scale to build it. And you should too. I'm paid in the paid plan, just like you are. And it's a gift. That's a blessing. I wouldn't switch it for a salary. And if something happened to me tomorrow, my wife gets paid on my position forever. Right. And if something happened to Marlo and I, that position goes to my kids. It's not a sales job. It's not a self-employed position where if you lose if you, God forbid, something happens to you and you're a Xerox employee, your spouse doesn't keep getting paid from Xerox every month thereafter. You do here. This is different. This is different. So today, the SGA and MGA emails go out. Any of you who are brand new, if I'm your up team SGA or MGA, you got an email from me. I respond to those the moment I get them, not the moment, but within a couple hours of getting them. I'm doing it 3 times a day. Put it that way. 3 times a day, I look for any SGA, MGA emails and I reach out to the new broker. I welcome them. I challenge them. I encourage them. And I put right in the email, as soon as you're done certification and funding training, get on the phone with me and your enroller. Here's your enroller's number. Put it right in the email. Here's my number. Put it right in the email. Let's get on a 3-way call, the 3 of us, and let's engage with that person. And every one of you should be doing that if you're an SGA or an MGA. And if you're the enroller, you should be encouraging that, right? Because that's engagement is how people stay involved. You know, there's something about event culture, an event culture, a local meetup culture. And I can't encourage this enough. Be a part of one for DAC, even if you have to start it, even if you have to start the event culture. The event does not have to be a paid room. You are in the business of being a broker, taking care of clients, right? But you're also in the business of having a buddy, a partner. Either you are to someone else who they were here before you, or you're there first and you're going to bring that person on and together get together once a week, at least once a week live. Zoom does not replace live. I did a Facebook post a few days ago, I think it was Wednesday, and it talked about how to best support people. And Zoom cannot replace live. Zoom cannot replace live. Zoom can replace distance telephone calls. Zoom can replace a quick phone call could be a Zoom instead so you can see each other, but it does not replace getting together at Starbucks with your local team. It does not. If you think it does, you're operating at a less effective model. More people you can see distance, yes, but less effectively. Local meetups is critical. Local meetups is critical. I meet every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. with my local chamber networking meeting. There's 30 of us in the room. We are required to be there every 7 a.m. every Wednesday. But you know what? That's 29 people referring clients to me. And I'm one of 29 referring to everyone else is in that room. And there's only one for every specialty in that room. It's like a BNI networking group. There's only one mortgage person. There's only one business funder, and there's only one bank manager, and there's only one blah, blah, blah. And that bank manager has probably referred me to 6 clients already since November. And I've referred them. And I'm moving my personal bank account over to that bank manager. And you become buddies. They're like your own sales team. Find a local chamber networking meeting to be a part of and create a buddy system in your own backyard. I know these are pro level things. And some of you are like, hey, I just want to refer traffic. You get to, but I will challenge you with this. I had a meeting Wednesday with a Keller Williams real estate agent. I asked her how big her team is. She can build a team. She doesn't focus on that. She's like that. I focus on selling homes. I focus on selling homes. And she's in the top 2% salespeople at Keller Williams, right? She's selling homes. She makes a full-time living near $500,000 selling homes. But she says, you know how competitive, you know how hard it is? You know how long I had to do this before I was trusted in the marketplace? Years. She said, I've had two weeks off the last couple of years, each year. That's it. Every day I work 7 days. That's what it took to be competitive in the real estate space. This is not a hand-me business. No business is. There's no such thing, but it's doable part-time. You can do this. I'm a part-time broker in the field. I'm a part-time broker in the field. I attend 5 or 6 chamber one-on-ones a week. I attend one chamber meeting at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays, and I go to a couple of, I have not canvassed a cold business in 6 months since November, not walked into one cold business, and I get clients every month, and I do it just through my part-time networking. But guess what? I'm always caring for a business owner. And if you follow that lead, if you just follow the lead, it works, and you can do it part-time, and you can add an extra 40, 50 grand to your personal commissions a year easily. You can add 100 grand. It's going to be harder on personal commissions, but you can make 100 grand on team income if you focus on that and you lead it and you be a good example. Because other people's efforts, you have 100 of them, you're going to earn more than on your personal efforts, even if you're amazing. Because out of those 100, you're going to have 4 who produce some numbers. It may only be 4 who produce numbers, but you'll have 4 who produce numbers. And those numbers are going to outproduce your one funding this week, right? So what if you had 1,000? Well, then you're going to have 40 producing numbers every month. And those 40 are going to produce a lot of fundings, even if it's just 40 fundings. If you're earning 400 each, that's 16 grand. You don't have to have a massive amount of fundings to make great overrides. And that's more than 100% of what you earn on your own funding. So don't forget, you may not get 100% of your personal commission, but you're in a lot more than 100% of what you're doing personally because of your team's production. That's business ownership. Don't forget that's different. All right. Return on investment. Return on investment, guys. Write down ROI. Last week we talked about EBITDA. This week we're going to value how to value a business. Today we're going to talk about return on investment for a minute, and then we're going to go to your questions. Return on investment. Most people look at that as when you're investing in something, you buy something, and what type of income does it generate over time? And then you discount it to today's value. So it's net present value of the discounted cash flow. So you're going to earn cash over time on something. Let's say you bought a rental property as an example. You buy a house as a rental property, and you're going to make $300 a month on that rent. That's $3,600 a year. But let's say you're going to make that for the next 5 years. $3,600 a year times 5 years is $18,000. $18,000, but you got to discount it to today's money, because $300 a month 5 years from now is not the same as $300 a month now. So you now discount it based on the current interest rate to get a net present value of that. And you don't need to know all the details of how to discount it. You can look that up on Claude or Google, but you won't need that for this business. The only reason I'm covering this is you'll need it to determine a value of a funding, the value of a funding, whether it's a good use of funds. So if someone is, and so you say, okay, that $18,000 discounted may only be worth $15,000 today. Is it worth buying that rental property if I'm going to make $15,000 a year, or $15,000 over the next 5 years is all I'm going to make? Is it worth buying it? You go, it's going to cost me $100,000. I'm going to maintain a lot of stuff. I'm only going to make 15. Wow. But the house price might go up in value by double. Oh, so I'll make 15,000 and my house I can expect will double in value, and it's going to be worth $100,000 more. Oh, so I'll make 115, not just 15. This is how an investor thinks about buying a rental property, right? What's it going to cost me now? What's my carrying cost to maintain it? What do I make on the rent? And what happens to the equity over time? Hopefully it goes up. What happened in 2008 when the market went like this? Most renters lost their homes. Most landlords, not renters, most landlords who owned a bunch of rental properties walked away from them. They were worth less than they owed, and they weren't making money on the rent. Now they're paying big mortgages and the value went below what they earned. They walked away. It's a risky thing. But those are the type things a real estate investor has to look at. The value of the home going up, the rent income, and what's the maintenance required of me to run it. Okay. Then what does it cost to buy it? So the return on investment is the desired outcome. What are you going to make? Minus what it cost you equals a net gain or a net loss. Did you earn more than what it cost you? And if so, how much more? And that's the return on investment percentage, the profit minus the cost, the discounted current profit minus the cost. You can go, Dave, I'm confused. Okay, I'm going to bring it home right now. Maybe you're not confused, but you don't need to understand all that. You just know that there's some thoughts out there that could help. This is what it boils down to. When it comes to funding, they're not borrowing money to take money. They're borrowing money to invest in something. Do you realize they're either investing in paying an old debt? It's not really an investment in leverage. That's solve a pinch. But they may be borrowing money to sign a new lease and remodel a new building or buy new equipment that's going to generate more money. They may be borrowing money to buy a second location. They're investing into a second location. They may be borrowing money doesn't matter what the need is, they're investing that borrowed money into something. So here's a little return on investment of borrowed money. The money has a dollar amount that has to be repaid. It's more than what they got. They get $100,000, have to pay back $130,000. What is this costing them? $130,000, right? They get $100 now. It's costing them $130 over a year. Let's say they're going to pay $130 out over a year. What are they getting in return for that $100,000 they invest that they have to repay back $130,000? Well, that better be more than $130,000 or there's no return on investment. But let me just say, let's say it is only $130,000 is all they're going to make. And all they're going to do is break even and pay that back. But next year, they're going to make $130,000 as well. And the following year, they're going to make $130,000. And the following year, they're going to make $130,000. And so the first year, all they're going to do is cover repayment of it. But after that, they're going to make $100,000 extra a year. Is this a good move? Yeah, they're going to make 100,000 over the next 5 years. Every year, that's 500,000. It's discounted. Maybe it's only worth 450, but it's only cost them 100. Don't look at just what they get year one. Look at what they get over 4 or 5 years. What's the desired outcome of this investment? That's why when you have a profit move, my client that got the $250,000 got a contract for $4 million in sales a month, $48 million contract per year signed, guaranteed 1 year, $48 million. They're profiting about 20%. There's about $8 million the profit. They needed a $250,000 to say yes to a new lease and buy some equipment. There's other finance they got to do too, but they're like, this, I don't care what it costs me to pay this back. I get to say yes to a contract where I'll make $8 million every single year profit. Got to pay for it all, but that's my net profit. That's a great return, right? So you're looking for not people who need money. You're looking for people who have investment ideas with that money that's going to give them a nice return. You want people who are going to put the money into something that gives them a greater return on that investment so that it makes sense borrowing money. You don't want to get people money who are desperately in need unless they've got a good business. So if you can start talking language of your company will be worth more if it doesn't need you to make money. If you've replaced yourself, what can we do to help replace yourself? We can loan you money to hire a manager, maybe to duplicate yourself. Could you increase sales enough if you had another person work with you and you could back up? You increase money if you have recurring revenue. You increase value if you have recurring revenue. Everything we talked about last week. What can we do to help you get recurring revenue? Can you set up an auto ship? Can you build an online order page where they can click a button that says reship it every month? Your product. There's many ideas you can do to increase your valuation. You go back to Friday, but now look at the return on investment. What are you doing with the money? What are you going to make? What's the outcome? This is the simplest way. The outcome minus the cost. Is it greater? Probably a good move. Outcome minus cost, not greater? Probably not a good move. It's really simple. So write this down. The outcome, give it a value. The likelihood that'll happen, give that a value. And in statistics, you multiply those two together. So if you are, a little finance lesson, if you have an 80% odds of doing $100,000, then you really have about an $80,000 return. It's a simple rule of thumb. You don't have 100,000, you have an 80,000. If you have a 95% likelihood to do 100, then you got a $95,000 return. Now, you may actually get a $120,000 return. It may actually do more. But for sake of determining, is this a good move? What's the likelihood you'll achieve that? There's risk. It's probably only 50-50. Okay, let's be real for a minute. I got a business. I just invested $21,000 into something at DAC. This is a real life example. The desired outcome is massive for all of you. It's massive for all of you. The likelihood of achievement is about 5%. That's it. But I'm willing to do it anyway. Because if that 5% happens, all of your businesses goes through the roof much better. Right? But it's costing 21 grand with a likelihood of achievement of only a return on investments, probably about $300,000 a month. So about 3.6 million, but the likelihood of achievement is only about 5%. But what's 5% times 3 million? 150 grand. Is that worth trying 21 grand? If you have the money to spend, yeah. So return on investment is worth it. I may lose 21 grand. I may. It's not a gamble. It's a calculated risk, but it's only got a 5% likelihood of achievement, full achievement. I think it's got a 100% likelihood of achievement to return money to cover itself, to cover the 21 grand. So whenever you people are putting, and I didn't borrow that money, so it's only costing me 21 grand. But just, you know how I think, if I'm spending 21 grand, I could put it into the stock market, and the way I invest, I would make on that 21,000. That 21,000 would double in 6 years to 42. So I don't just like putting money into things because, yeah, you lose it. You didn't just lose the 21 grand. You lost what that 21 grand invested would have become in a guaranteed return on investment somewhere. So business owners don't always think this way. You may not always think this way, and you don't have to, but you should start recognizing there's another couple things out there. You don't have to know all this. I don't want to create confusion, but you should know this. You must know this. If the desired outcome is not greater than the cost, they should not take the money. If the desired outcome is, oh, good, they got some money and they can pay a bunch of old debt off. Okay, how are they going to pay off this loan? I don't know. Don't give them the money. They will default. They will be hurting a month from now when they're making payments every week. They won't have the money to pay it because they just spent it all on past due stuff. Now they got to regenerate even more. They won't have the money to pay it. I'd rather tell 5 businesses, don't apply. It's not the right time. Come up with a good use of funds. You don't have a good use of funds. I didn't take that 21 grand and spend it on past due bills. I spent it on investment of ideas to generate a lot more money potentially. It could fail, and I'm willing to take that risk. But I'm not paying it on old stuff that has no likelihood of achievement at all. So make sure you're focused on outcome is greater than the cost. We've got a video on our Vimeo wall that does some cartoon pictures, and it actually shows you got 100 grand. You have to pay back 130. The outcome is only 110. Don't take the money. You got 100. You got to pay back 130. The outcome is 300,000. Good move. Take the money. Right? It's real simple. It doesn't have to be all these ROIs and net present value and discounted cash flow. You don't have to know all that stuff. But know that there are some mechanics behind the mentality of a pro. And that is, I'm advising clients whether they should take money or not. That's what I'm doing. I'm not a loan broker. I'm a financial consultant that helps them grow their business with or without the money. I'd rather tell a client they don't need to borrow money and you could try this instead, because that'll turn into 3 referrals. And it's a happy client who trusts me. And when they need money for growth, they'll come see me. So we're in the business of earning commissions for helping clients. I get it. But really what we're in the business of doing is serving clients' best interest. And that sometimes equals money. And so that's why I don't like, if I found out that someone on the Bank Breezy team was closing a business, it curdles my skin. I don't want anyone closed. I don't like the word. I don't like the thought of it. I don't want anyone to be closed. I want everyone to be educated. You educate me and it's the right fit, and you should all be educators. Don't be a closer. Don't be a get to yes. You're not trying to overcome every objection. You're trying to educate every objection. If you educate to it and they go, oh, that makes sense. That's a good point. That's a good thought. You're right. I should do this and that. My last client that just took this Funding Monday, they had 100% prepayment discount. Now think about this for a moment, folks. This is a real life example. 100% prepayment discount, but they have 3 options: a 6-month option, a 12-month option, and an 18-month option. The 18th does cost more because they're keeping the money 18 months, but the weekly payment is so much lower because they're paying it back over 18 months. They plan to pay it off in 6 to 8 weeks. But cash flow for the first 6 to 8 weeks is going to be a little sparse. They're reinvesting in everything. Which plan's better? 6-month deal where they're going to pay less, but have to pay a lot more weekly? 12-month where they pay a little bit more, but a little less weekly? Or 18-month where they're going to pay a lot less weekly, but potentially pay a lot more if they keep it 18 months. They have 100% prepayment discount. Take the 18-month deal. You only make a small weekly payment right now. Small weekly payment. You're agreeing if you keep it all 18 months, you're going to pay more for that $250,000. Yes. But you're not going to keep it that long. You're going to pay it off in 90 days, pay a small weekly payment, pay it off in 90 days. It'll cost you maybe $300 more for choosing the 18-month option, but you have a small weekly payment. Things like that, common sense for the business owner. Yeah, but Dave, they're agreeing to pay back a lot more than on the longer deal. Yeah, but we talked about it and they're going to pay it off in 90 days. And they know if they don't, it's going to cost them more because they're keeping the money 18 months. Common sense, right? The good news is the Bank Breezy team already covers all that. They already cover all that. But I told the client flat out, I wouldn't take the shorter term. I know it appears less, but you're not going to keep it for the term of the loan. That doesn't make sense. Pay a few $100s more and pay it off early, but take a smaller weekly payment. It makes life a lot easier while you're investing and growing. So, but it's different case by case. So cost of capital is what it's costing you to spend. Return on investment is what the outcome did it produce, because you're investing money. So outcome over cost, and always look to put the client in a better position. When you do that, you'll be celebrated. You'll be celebrated in your local community. And you can't do that where you're not. And I just want to say this other thing. If you're good at online, and we'll go to your questions. If you're good at online sales, rock on. You'll disregard what I'm going to say right now because you're an online salesperson. Go for it. I will let you know there's 100 funders doing online marketing right now. 100 on Facebook. There's 100 on Google. There's 100 on YouTube. There's 100, our competitors, even our lenders that we represent, are advertising, they're Facebook adding, they're texting clients every day, they're emailing clients every day. You got a lot of competition out there, 100 plus. So unless you've got their skill set, you're not going to win in online funding. You're going to get the bottom of the barrel, the declines, the people who've got 7 positions already, a default already, right? Do it. If you're good at it, keep doing it. But if you're counting on that, don't go local. Go warm market, go local market. Go warm market, go local market. If you don't want to do that, do something else. Just being flat out. My daughter, who's in college, is thinking about going into real estate. And I was perfectly honest with her. Do it, but this is what it's going to take. 4 years of not making much. You better have full-time income somewhere else, because you're not going to be able to compete with all the pros that are out there for a lot of years. You might get a few friends and family who use you, but you're not going to make full-time. That's just the reality. But if you're willing to endure, work somewhere else, serve as a restaurant server, and be part-time in real estate till you become a pro and start to earn your stripes. If you're not going to be willing to do that, go do something besides real estate, because you got to earn your stripes in the world of competition. There's 100 funding brokers online. You better be better than them, and you're probably not. But there's no funding brokers local. So I would not, now I don't mean you can't email someone and text someone, but do it local. Aim local. Small circle. You can do it part-time. It'd be more effective than full-time national. You could be a full-time online marketer and not touch a part-time local broker, because relationships turn into funding opportunities, not digital marketing. That can, but digital marketers are digital marketers. And I proved that out by spending a lot of money on digital marketing, only to say, don't do it. If you're a gifted one at it, you'll get a referral now and then, do it. But the ones that work is doing your own educational videos. Maybe people will start to spread them. Do some educational videos on funding. Go for it. Do that. Otherwise, go local. If you want to win in this game, you just like real estate, you're not going to sell homes in other states. There's already a local agent there. You will beat the online business people if you go local. If you don't go local, you're going to be surviving like a restaurant who doesn't want to be open for dinner and doesn't want to be open for lunch. They just want to do breakfast because they want lifestyle, and they want to be able to be home at lunch with their kids when they get home, and they want to be home every night to watch Dynasty and Dallas and old school shows. Good for you. You won't succeed in a restaurant business. So you won't succeed as a business funding broker violating what we're saying unless you've already proven it with a different product. Go for it. So I see every funding. I see every broker who's doing it, and I'm teaching what works. And there are people who get online deals now and then, and I get it. But if you look at almost 100% of our prior defaults as an online, didn't know the broker. The declines for lack of this or lack of that, didn't know the broker, wasn't local. The ones that are local, great quality deals. So I don't want you to waste time. We've got good things happening. Good local training launches coming out very soon to all the leaders. More local training events. We got a new contest launching the first Tuesday of next month. So that's 10 days from now. Those are all good things, but those don't replace you having to jump in the car that we encourage you jump in. Do it the way we teach. It's the most effective way. And again, if you don't want to do that, you shouldn't be in DAC. unless you just want to be a referral partner, bird dog to your online site. Links work, emails work if they're local, if they're local, if they're local, if they're local. So let's stay local. All right. So return on investment, is the outcome greater than the cost? Valuation of a business. We went through it last week. If you weren't on, get on that. SGA, MGA, that's the up team supervising general agency and managing general agency, or NMO, National Marketing Organization. They're going to get the email. They are encourage you, if you're getting that, don't sit on it. We're not sending you that for you to go, cool, more reps joined, more brokers joined. We're sending it so you engage because you're in a big override spread and your enroller may be brand new. Their enroller may be brand new and not know how to help them. So engage with that person. It's called tap routing down to their team. And if you're not MGA or SGA yet, you should know who yours is and you should have a relationship with them. If you didn't get that email because we just launched it, look in your back office. Call your SGA and MGA, call them. Their numbers are right there. I've gotten some calls. Some people out there have seen it and they've reached out to me and said, hey, you're my up team MGA. Darn straight. I'm paid in the comp plan and you've got my number and I'm here to help you. That makes sense, all the sense in the world. Let's do it. What can we do? Let's do a game plan. What city you're in? How serious do you want to take this? I have those conversations all the time. So reach out to your up team MGA and SGA. And if that's me, text me. I want to know and I want to help. But bring your part, be teachable, be coachable, and you'll make it happen. We got great things happening. Could be another great month for us. Wade was saying our numbers are really strong this month for funding. It means great commissions for all of you. So a lot of good things happening. And you got great leaders in the field, your MGAs and SGAs. Be a business owner. Don't just be a sales rep. That means build a team. Depend on the Bank Breezy funding team, depend on the DAC support team to help support your brokers, help you support your clients, but you be their coach. You be the fisher of men. Don't just catch fish, teach people how to fish. Teach them, coach them, and they become like rental properties. There will be a relationship that produces bonus revenue every month. So I'm with that gal. I'll end with this. I'm with that gal at the Starbucks talking to her about her business. And just then her enroller walks in. And I didn't know his enroller. I know him around town. He's a real estate agent in town. And I see him at the Chamber of Commerce meetings and we shake hands and talk all the time. I didn't know who was who. They're both Keller Williams. And she goes, oh, there's my enroller right there. He's the one who told me about Keller Williams 5 years ago. So that's great. And she sold 60 or 70 homes so far this year. So she's rocking. And I said, so how much time do you spend enrolling and coaching, people? And he says, oh, I don't spend a lot of time with that. I don't really have time to coach new people. I'm selling homes all the time. And I enrolled Jen and I enrolled Anita and I enrolled someone else. And so I've enrolled a few people who are killing it, but I don't enroll many people. That's not my business. I sell homes primarily. I don't coach people. Okay, no problem. That's awesome. Well, how much time do you do that at all? He goes, I really don't even try to. I don't even try to build a team. So he's just getting customers. Some of you might be that way. You might say, I'm just going to focus on getting customers. But fortunately, he does have 3 teams that are rocking. I know the 3 people he enrolled. They're all rocking. I see them at chamber meetings every single week. They're full-timer professionals. You'll eventually have 3 full-time professionals, even if you're not focused on building a team. But if you focus on, you'll certainly have 3, and then they'll be killing it, and you'll be earning great income on them. So that's what business ownership looks like. It's when you're earning money, even when you're not actively working, when you're getting commission checks, even when you didn't get a funding client yourself. That's when you've got a recurring residual type business. It's not recurring revenue every month, but it's recurring commissions every week. You're getting commissions every week because you have an active team. And then you're earning a lot more than 100% of your own commissions because you're earning a lot on deals that you didn't do yourself. That's the model we have. That's what we're banking on. That's what's already working. And that's what makes your business so much valuable, so much more valuable. You have 100 people in your army. That 100 is going to turn into 300. You can't stop it. That 300 will turn into 600. You can't stop it. That 600, you could quit, and that 600 is going to grow. You may not impact that growth, but you can't stop that growth. Why not get in and impact it and stick around and support it and encourage it? And I'm on a call today with our corporate team going, okay, how do we get more local leaders to step up in their local market? How do we, now I know the answer, but I'm asking them, how do you guys see we get more local leaders? I've gotten local leaders to step up for 30 years. I know what it takes. It takes the person, not the system. It takes the person who wants it. I've seen local leaders step up and still 90% don't with the same system. We've got the systems already. Who's digesting the ingredients and running the plays? Who's took those local leader meetings and read them all and go, okay, I'm doing it. 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 Those who do win, those who don't won't. It's really that simple. It really is that simple. So I've not seen any plan that varies from that 31 years. It doesn't matter if there's Zoom or no Zoom. It doesn't matter if there's Facebook or no Facebook. It doesn't matter if there's cassette tapes or VHS tapes. It doesn't matter if it's CD-ROMs or videos online. It doesn't matter if it's called a reel or a cassette. It doesn't matter if it's an Instagram or a Telegram. It doesn't matter. People are people. They want engagement, and producers produce. And so I encourage all of you, flip the switch. If you want to build this, you want to turn this into, and you don't have an enroller coach, contact me. If you're going to put in your time, I'll put in the time. I want to help you. I'll team you up with your current MGA or SGA, and we'll make sure we take you under our wing, but you need to do your part. You need to do your part. So I appreciate you all. We're going to open it up. This is a rant.
Alrighty, guys.
Go ahead.
All needed information. Absolutely. It's never a rant when it's just back to back, needed to know, right? Needed to know information. So raise your virtual hands, guys. We will call on you one by one. Start with you, Miss Harlequin. Go ahead, Harlequin.
Hey there. Great message from all of you gentlemen today. Definitely well needed. And we'll start off with McGuire, with what you were talking about as far as going and recruiting people even before you start getting fundings. I know David will attest to this, as will Ellen and myself. All three of us, someone on our team got a funding before we did. So, you don't have to be the expert to get started. So don't be afraid to do that. And Tyler, thank you. I received my first new member email today, or actually last night, from somebody who joined my team. So that's going to be very helpful to have that. And David, like you, I've been going and doing more consulting lately with business owners. And, even if they're not ready for our funding, I've been helping them get themselves lined up so that they can be ready. I actually have a 1:30 meeting with somebody that I've got to run out the door pretty soon to go and meet with him. And he has a wonderful product that I think can make some money for him, but he needs some money. He's not quite ready for DAC funding.
Mm-hmm.
But, he'll be a potential client in the future.
Love it.
Yeah.
And by the way, to your point about consulting, you're ready because you've got a lot of business experience. I'm going to talk to the college kid in here right now, college age person. My daughter Kailani is an intern for us right now. She wants to be a wealth manager. She's interning us right now to learn communication. The most important thing is she's shadowing me at the chambers. She's going to learn how to network because that's the most important skill. The financial theory everyone can know. But so I'm walking through her as an intern, what that takes. And she doesn't have the ability to consult someone right now. She doesn't have all the financial theory right now. She doesn't understand outcome and how to coach a client. But you know what she has? A partner in me who does. Exactly. Harlequin already knows how. But team, if you're on today and you don't know how, every chamber meeting, you'll meet a consultant. Every chamber meeting out there, you'll meet a consultant. Search for a consultant in your town and reach out to them and say, hey, you're a business consultant. I'm in business funding. I want to offer support to business owners. As I come across people, are you willing to give them a consultation on how you might be able to help them to succeed in business, because I don't have that skill set yet, but I want to have an army of people. I want to know a good CPA I can refer. I want to know a good attorney I can refer. I had a wealth manager reach out to me yesterday and said, do you know any attorneys locally who could help me update some contracts for the new agents I'm recruiting? Of course I do. And so I put her in touch with an attorney who's in my network of attorneys that I believe in, who've helped us with our agreements, right? So you can build a following of people, a team. It doesn't have to be you have it all. I have a lot of experience in running businesses because of failures and successes. So I can help a 6-year business veteran improve the restaurant. I can help a cook improve their financial modeling. I can help someone choose better pricing, things like that I can do because of my experience. But if I didn't know how, I've got Mark Shippey, a guy locally who is a consultant for business owners. And if it's a service business, HVAC, electricians, all that, that's his expertise. I go, you got to meet Mark. Let me put you in touch with Mark. And I just introduce him to Mark. I get out of the way. And if they need funding, guess who they're going to get funding through? But if they don't need funding right now, they need support from Mark. So reach out and build synergies. Find some CPAs in your town. Let them know you're looking to know some good CPAs. So if get some realtors. So if and when get some mortgage people. So if and when they have equity in their home and they need 50 grand and they can't get it through us, you can get them a home equity line through a mortgage buddy. And all you got to do is go, I'm going to reach out to this mortgage guy. No, I'll connect you guys. You can get a home equity line and get 50 grand right out of your house. You've got the equity. Do that. We can't get you 50, right? You need that network over time. You'll build it by networking. Great stuff. I know you're the consultant. For those who aren't, find one in your local town. And if it has to be me, I've told you all, if you want me to talk to one of your clients, and I've talked to many of your clients that are on here and gave advice on what I would do if I were them. And it's usually not funding, but it usually will lead to success, which leads to funding.
Exactly. And 2 additional points. One, I met a college student last night. She was our server for my Big Ten networking event last night. But she is studying to be a wealth manager. And I was like, okay, we need to talk. And I'm going to talk to her about that. But I also am joining a group of fractional CFOs, CMOs, ITOs, or CIOs and CTOs, as well as angel investors and other funders. I've been asked to join a nationwide group of people doing that. So
I love it. Hey,
get
everybody,
the experts in there.
Get ready to do some screenshots. Get ready to do some screenshots. I'm going to show you something. Okay. You guys see that? You see the whole screen there. This is a document I'm editing, but this is the internship document I went over with my daughter, what she's going to be doing. This is all going to help her. You can do this with people. They can add this to their resume, guys. They can be an independent broker. She's going to be learning bank statements to do cash flow. She's going to see how capital works. She's right now getting certified and trained. She's going to help go through how I do client discovery and needs. She's going to shadow me, and then she's going to do some calls herself. She's going to learn how to communicate clearly about money with people, with business owners. Everything you guys are doing are skills that you can do in any career. You can use networking, relationship building, attend chamber of commerce, referral networking events, practice your professional introduction elevator pitch. Look at all these things that you guys do every day. These are things that she's going to be doing. Why? Because wealth managers grow their practice almost entirely through relationships, referrals from CPAs, attorneys, existing clients, right? So she's going to be doing that stuff with us as well, because she's going to learn how to use a CRM. And then here's some of her tasks that she's got to do this summer. So folks, you've got opportunity. What you're going through here, if you'll just do the things that we're teaching, like we just talked about how to look for outcome. If you just start going, okay, I'm going to go do some case studies on some outcomes. I'm going to start asking businesses, what would you do if you had 100 grand? What would that turn into? What would you do if you had 50 grand? How much would that outcome? What's the likelihood of achievement? Wow, man, you got me excited. If I got 100 grand, I could turn it into 400. I think it's pretty likely. Have you ever thought about getting 100 grand to do it? I mean, or why wouldn't you? Well, it'd be scary. Okay, so it's not 100% likely. It's otherwise you wouldn't be scared. So you can have some real discussions. And guys, there's a friend of mine in town. In fact, he's going to be doing some education for all of you very soon. He's a wealth manager. and he's a tax specialist, and he's going to be doing some education. We're working on what it's going to be now, so he can advise all of you as independent brokers things you can do. And he's a wealth manager, very good. He does a lot of the McDonald's family, and very, very, very well entrenched wealth manager. And he's local, and he's a friend. And so I asked him if he would create some education for all of you, and he's already sent me the slides he do. And some of you may want to hire him as a wealth manager, but that's not his intention. His intention is to educate. He's like me. I want to educate businesses on funding. If they apply with me, great. I want to help them not make the wrong decision. I don't want them giving up ownership of their company over 50%, and I don't want them not being able to get money to grow. So there's ways that you can do this, and we can help you with that. Well, he's going to come on, and one of the things that he told me, and I was asking him, what suggestions you have? And by the way, my daughter Kailani's going to shadow him as well. But what ideas do you have for me for interning my daughter? I got some thoughts, but I've never been a wealth manager. What do you think? And he's like, David, if you can get her to do one thing, and that's learn how to network at the local chamber of commerce meeting and learn how to communicate with people, she can be successful as a wealth manager. And I bet she can be successful as a business funding broker. And I said, of course, she could be successful at anything. And communication, guys, and you get the practice by doing it. You watch Nick DeHame now online versus 6 years ago. You watch McGuire online now doing a Zoom versus a year ago. You watch anyone who's been in a chamber meeting over and over and over and over again, they get used to dealing with people. If you're not used to it yet, go do it. You'll get used to it. I know some of your pros already going, Dave, do you really? Hey, we allow brokers entry level all the way up to super pro. Super pro, you get it why we're covering it. We got entry level people here. And entry level people can, like I've told you before, the person I've recruited made the most money ever in my industry was not a super pro. They were 19 serving as a restaurant earner, and they've out earned most every super pro I've ever recruited combined. So we are willing to train the brand new people, because brand new 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds are the Elon Musks of the world and the Henry Fords of the world. And some of them may just grab onto what we're doing. Don't overlook a teenager. The teenagers are the future billionaires too. And don't overlook a 25-year-old or an 85-year-old. No, it's never too late for anyone. Any other hands up? I can't see on my
We
screen.
have a few, sir. Yep. Go ahead,
Okay.
Orlando.
Okay. David, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, buddy. Loud and clear.
Fantastic. This has been a great topic. I mean, we say this all the time, but it's just the quality of these meetings here. They're just great. Two things. Wealth management I can relate to. I spent 15 years being a registered investment advisor, stockbroker, and in the wealth management field. What I did was, when DAC came to my attention, I said, I want to do DAC. I really believe in what it provides in terms of, helping to create personal wealth as well as helping business owners. And the challenge with being on the security side of the business is that they have a lot of restrictions in terms of, what outside business you can do. So I had to make the soulful decision to say, I've had a good run of a career in the wealth management space. I really believe in this DAC business, helping business owners get access to capital. So I made the decision to part myself away from that and just, be in DAC as now a broker and the like. And so I certainly, it certainly transferred a lot of skills, relationship building, understanding finance and models and things of that nature then. So that certainly brought that. I can translate those skills today in terms of what I do. On the other side of your comment here about chambers, this week I joined my Chamber of Commerce. It's the Falls Church Chamber of Commerce in Northern Virginia. And the outcome of it was great. Number one, they give you the opportunity to kind of give your 1-minute spiel about who you are and what you do. What was interesting for me was, even when I was in the financial wealth management space, many times you may have 2 or 3 advisors that show up to these types of meetings. But when I was in this meeting, when I said I'm a certified business funding broker, I got attention because there's bankers, but there's no one in this space who's doing that. So
Amen.
that's the uniqueness
Amen.
of what we do. It really made
Love
me
it.
feel good. And the funny thing was, after the meeting, it was almost like, and I'm serious about this, it was almost like birds what is it? Someone threw bread on the floor and the birds came and chomped it all up. I have my drop cards and I handed out all my cards. I have 3 meetings set up from this event, including the executive director who said, "Hey, I'd like to meet with you separately. Let's sit down for some coffee. Let's talk. I have some people I can put you in front of to help, make some connections there." So I love the fact that what DAC brings, what we bring uniquely is that we're not the business funder for everyone. I mean, we're not like every other company in this industry. We're unique apart from itself. And I was able to communicate that. And as a result, generate meetings, generate interest and things of that nature. Then, so I have another event with this chamber that I'm going to go to next week and continue to expand then. But the chamber is definitely beginning to pay off some benefits. And I'm looking at that as a source. And then the last point I'll make is that that's how I'm using in my own efforts to dominate my market. In other words, like I said, we're working on owning our markets by knowing people in the chamber, and those people can refer myself be a referral source to them. That's going to definitely go a long ways, I believe, in terms of me helping
Amen.
to dominate my market there. So anyway,
Right on.
that's where I
You're
am,
doing it, buddy.
and I'm after it. I'm after
You're
it.
doing it. You're
Thank
doing
you.
it. And by
Thank
the
you.
way, I don't say I'm a certified funding broker, and I will, and
Okay.
because I am, and
Yeah.
you all are too. And that's a great point. Thank you for sharing that, Orlando.
Sure.
And
Sure.
everybody else out there, use that. Make sure you say you're a certified
I
funding
emphasize
broker.
that because
Yeah.
I'm not just
Amen.
I'm not just a regular broker or salesperson. And you have to really kind of continue to distinguish yourself. Sure, being in business funding is a commodity. There are lots of businesses, but the way that we distinguish ourselves, I even had someone this week who I've been talking to said, "Hey, I like the fact that you are a God-centered company." They saw the banner on the website and things of that nature. But certified means I'm committed. Just like if you're a
Amen.
certified financial planner, certified CPA, it means you're committed. And that's really to me, it's kind of wired in my brain. It's what I naturally say. Who are you? I'm a certified, independent certified business funding
Love it.
broker, so
Love it.
that's what that is. And so,
and by the way, Orlando, and I know Orlando's been through many trainings. I would say this to
yes.
everyone. If you haven't watched the business funding training yet, don't call yourself certified yet, even though you
Yep.
are. Go through the business funding training too, everybody. It will
Again
be
and
part
again.
of it
Again and
one
again.
time. You need it
Yeah.
all. You
Yeah.
need that knowledge. Otherwise, you might get stumped. But thank you,
That's
Orlando. And I would
that's all
just say
for me.
this. I know we
Yeah.
got a couple more hands up. I'm going to say this briefly. The Chamber of Commerce, the greatest thing about them is if you go in there intending to help more people than you get helped, intending to refer more clients than you get, intending to refer everyone you know for health insurance to the health insurance person, to the mortgage person. If you go in there with that intention, it's not long and the president of the chamber will want you on the ambassador board. You become a connector that people love having around because they really care about every new business. I have a meeting right now with our local town. McGuire, you know the town, Lyon Township. I have a meeting with the local Lyon Township Chamber of Commerce because the president of our chamber said, you need to meet David Rutz because he cares about businesses in the community and he does business funding. And so the president of the neighboring chamber and the Downtown Development Authority are meeting with me next week. I didn't create the meeting. My local chamber referred me to them without me even knowing because this guy cares about businesses. And Orlando cares about businesses. And when people feel that, you don't have to promote yourselves. You can't stop the promotions. When you're remarkable, people remark. When you're unremarkable, people remark negatively. Be remarkable, positive, and people will remark and share you. And all it takes is caring and being considerate and really wanting to help those other businesses, funding or no funding. Funding will follow. We got a couple more hands up. Let's go to Nick first because I know that Nick is and then Erica, Brokers of the Month, former Brokers of the Month. I love giving them some recognition. I don't see everyone, but I see them.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, David.
Hey, buddy.
Hey. How's it going?
When you moving up to Michigan? When you moving to Michigan?
I'd love to. I don't know about
together.
moving.
We can kick some butt together.
Yeah, of course. But a nice visit, I am definitely down for it.
Yeah.
A nice tour. I'm definitely, that's something I have written down as one of my goals is, as the team grows and as we can, I continue to identify some some local leaders, people that are really see value in our business. I can't wait. Soon, this will be happening soon.
Yeah.
When I fly up and I'm able to visit them and sit down, like you said, there's nothing better in person and having that conversation and strategizing with them and really being there in person. But that's going to happen. And Michigan is one of the stops, David. So
Amen.
I just wanted to just share. I know I love when brokers come on and share how they came across the client that they referred when it's a funding story. So I just wanted to share real quick that how I came across this business owner, this landscape business. I actually spoke to them end of 2024. And it was a simple introduction that our training provides, which is meet, greet, and inform. Simple introduction, and I stayed in touch. I stayed present, and it was about 5, 6 touches from the end of 2024 that I've reached out to them. Last time I spoke to this business owner was in April. The conversation, because I write down every detail of how conversations go, and the conversation went. He was very appreciative. He said he's good for now, but hey, thanks for reaching out. And last Friday, I was on a game plan call, and I saw his number call through. He gave me a call, and I said, "All right, he's calling me for something, right?" Because I know I've been staying in touch. So I had to stop the game plan call, and I picked up the phone. He said, "Hey, Nick, I have this and this going on, this project, commercial project. I need to get funding ASAP." So we had an application submitted. We worked with him and Damien throughout the whole week. Damien, Bank Breeze, the team. I just can't believe how phenomenal. I've been working with several of the guys. How professional, how awesome, they are. It really is. It's a blessing to have this platform, guys. And we were luckily able to help them out yesterday. So that's how I came across this business owner, guys. It was a simple introduction. And coincidentally, I didn't know him personally, but throughout time, he converted. He became a warm market contact, right? Every time I would reach out to him, previously in the last, couple months, I would call him and he'd pick up the phone and say, "Hey, Nick, what's up? What's going on, man?" He had my phone number saved in there, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, if it's local, it's much better. But I want to share another story of a construction business I spoke on Thursday. I'm completely reaching out to where I'm from, Teaneck, New Jersey, Bergen County, New Jersey, and reaching out to all these business owners. And guys, the introduction, the conversation goes so much more easier when you're reaching out locally to those local neighbors and community members. So I spoke to this business owner. He's like, "Yep, call me in June. I have this and this going on. We'll see. Anything could happen." So those are 2 testimonials I wanted to share, David. And coincidentally,
Yes.
you were speaking now. I got a phone call, picked up, and it was a broker. A few levels down said, "Hey, Nick Duhane, yes, it is. How can I help you?" He said, "Hey, I actually I got an email that you're my up team member, and I'm just reaching out because I want to schedule a call." So there you go, guys. Just because of the systems that we continue to improve in DAC and the whole internal team, David, the support team, we have this operating and this up and running. So thank you, David, for that.
Amen.
Awesome
Great job, buddy. Thanks for sharing that testimonial. Those testimonial stories, facts tell, stories sell. Jesus didn't quote scripture very much, but man, did he tell a lot of stories and parables. Yes, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Who else we got, McGuire?
Right. We'll go to Erica and then Robin. Go ahead, Erica.
All right. Hey, good morning, guys. Great call as always. It's getting a little warm in my car, but here we are. I just wanted to do a quick, reminder. You guys get your cards. They're great quality drop cards. I plan to hand at least 10 out today, hopefully, while I'm out and about doing my normal job. So I wanted to just bring that up because I think sometimes things get overlooked. So spend a little bit of money. The 500 is probably the best deal, but do what you can and get those resources with you. Also,
Love it.
I was similar along the same lines. David, you are my upline officially now. So anyways, check out that and I'll send you a text message here shortly. But I did just want to say, a great call, great insight. And Nick, along the lines, similarly, I've talked to a couple of construction companies and some are concrete workers that were like, "Hey, 6 to 12 months, I'll be needing funds." So I'll be kind of trying to touch back base with them because I'm at about the 6 month mark here, and just make sure that he's not, in need and not saying something. So yeah,
Follow up,
just
follow up, follow up.
yeah.
That's right. And by the way, great job, Erica Appleseed, we call her, because she's always out prospecting and delivering those drop cards as seeds of relationship. And by the way, guys, I've got lawn in my backyard, a dry area under a swing. It doesn't get much sun. I've dumped a bunch of grass seed down on it, and dumping a bunch of grass seed is like throwing 50 drop cards out. Those aren't relationships. Tending the soil, putting the seeds down, covering it, raking it in, putting the soil on top, covering it, throwing some straw on it. So doing it the right way establishes those seeds. So make sure as you're prospecting, you're not looking at it as trying to get a client. Look at it as I'm building a relationship of a business I can help. A business I can help with revenue, with sales, with ideas, with encouragement. If nothing else, man, I appreciate you for being a restaurant owner in town. I'm sure there's days you don't want to have to come in, but you're here and you're making sure we can all get eggs and bacon and, encourage. And by the way, people hear this and don't do it. And they go, why am I not a pro? Because I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not talking about be salesy. I'm not saying do it because it's get a customer. You do it because you care about the business owner. You do it because they need encouragement. Just like you encourage a new mom who's not sleeping or a new dad who's not sleeping, and you've been a parent, you go, hey, you're going to get through it. I know it's hard. It's going to be worth it. You just keep hanging in there. I know you're tired right now. Can I help? You want me to give you a break? You want me to watch the baby for a little while? You go take a little walk or go take a nap. I got your back. You're an encourager because you care. If you do that, that's all you have to do. Network and encourage. Who else we got? Robin, did you say?
Yes, we have Robin, and that's our last hand. So we'll end with you,
All
Robin.
right.
Go ahead.
Okay, I just a quick, simple question. I was wondering if a business can be signed up as a broker as opposed to an individual.
A business can, yes. When they join, you have to have an individual names on record, but they can sign up under under company name. You can add a company name, and then you add your company EIN number, which is a replacement of it's a tax ID. It's employee identification number, or employer. But that is the number you put in instead of a social security number. But we must have an individual's name on file. But yes, you can put business name and business tax ID number as the company name.
Okay,
or
so
under the social security number.
All right. So if you have an individual name on the on this sign up thing, so can anyone else in his company use the same broker number?
The company is the broker, but he's responsible, and we don't like a bunch of employees, using that number because they don't understand the business. They may do something wrong. They're not certified. So he's the certified broker, or she, whoever the owner of the company is. Okay. They're the broker of record. So they're ultimately responsible, just like I'm responsible for anyone a DAC brokers does to our lenders. Okay. I'm responsible for what you do. So he'd be responsible. So what I would encourage, if he's going to have employees working for him under his link, that they join their own broker IDs. He makes an override on them. So they're not making less. But if not, at least have them watch all the training. Okay. And he needs to know he's responsible for their behavior.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You bet. That's it. Then let me end. Let me take us home. Team, the best part about what we're doing is we have an opportunity here to honor God, honor our business owner friends, honor the lenders we have, encourage our teammates, our brokers that are in our teams. I love helping all of you who are in this company. I love helping all the future brokers who aren't even here yet. I love helping all the businesses who are going to learn about this. We've had hundreds of thousands of applications who've learned about business funding because of our broker network, and it continues to grow. It's an army of good servants, and we've got a lot who haven't turned the switch to figure it out yet on how to do it better, how to do it more professional. And we're always working on that, always training it. You can tell by the number of people here. We had more people join in the last week than are on this Zoom. You hear that? We had more people join in the last week than are on this Zoom. Where are they? Where are they? We have more people join in the last week than are on today's huddle. Where are they? We had more people get certified in the last month than are on this huddle. Where are they? They don't watch it on video. We get a few hundred watches on video, but we don't get, we had more people join in the last month than will watch every video we make. Where are they? So we're calling all of you who are here. You are here. We're calling on all of you to make certain you promote to all of your team and ask them why they're not attending. Just find out, why are you not attending? It's okay if you don't, if you can't, are you watching it on video? And if you engage with them, I can tell you this, if I'm doing a 3-way call with your teammate, if they're in your team and I'm the up team MGA and I'm talking to them, they will not talk to me again if they're not plugging in. I won't invest time into someone who's not plugging in. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt when they start, and I'll never overlook them. I'll never count them out. I just won't count on them, and I won't invest more time into them. I'll tell them to go to our systems when they're ready. But if they're plugging in, they can talk to me every day, and I can help them go from, you look at that intern list, you look at that list for the intern that I'm doing with my daughter, Kailani, guess what? Every one of you have that list if you just keep going through the business funding training, if you keep doing everything we're teaching. There's nothing on that list except using our CRM that you guys don't get access to and have access to and get to do. And you can go get your own free CRM at HubSpot and learn how to use a CRM, right? So everything on there is just part of our training. That's why she's getting certified today. And that's why she'll be watching funding training tomorrow. And that's why she'll be helping with other things that I ask all of you guys to do. I'm just requiring she do it because she's a part-time employee. So I get to require it. Can't require you guys do it, but I'll tell you, you're a fool if you don't. You're a fool to think you can make it without doing all the things that we teach. So we can give you a part-time share it story, write an email like this, share your link, be ready for a 3-way call with your up team expert. If you do that, you can be successful. You don't have to be a pro yet, but you got to rely on a pro in your team. You got to rely on a pro in your team. And if you don't, you're being foolish. If you rely on a pro in your team, you do the system we teach, you'll have success, but you got to do it and do it and do it and do it and do it. And if you do, you will win. God bless you all. Have a great weekend. Have a great, hey, to anyone who lost someone serving in the army, we won't be talking Monday. Hey, to anyone who's, this is a tough weekend. You had a family member, you know, I watched those YouTube reels and it brings me to emotion, military people coming home or military people being covered with a US flag. I've been fortunate to not have anyone since the revolution, literally, in my family who's died in the war. I've had several serve, but I've never lost someone in war. Some of you have lost sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, grandparents, grandkids. We don't take that lightly. America's free, but we're born in it. We take it for granted, and it's not free. It's paid for. There's a price, and we got to protect it. A lot of countries in the world who want capitalism to go away, they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We got to protect us. There's people who want to kill Americans. People, death to America, death to free countries. They're out there, and thank God for the military who put their lives on the line to protect America, and many gave their lives at ultimate sacrifice. So I lift you up with honor and encouragement if you had a family member, and we'll certainly pray for everybody who's serving in the active military right now, and thankful for all those who served in the past. I know it's not Veterans Day, it's Memorial Day, so this is about honoring the ones who've died in the active service. But I'm thankful for all of you. God bless you all. Have a great weekend. Let's rock and roll.